magician and an Asimar. So I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do the thing. Matthew.
Okay. So the story takes place as all these stories have in the very first few months in the year of 1394. A few months after the pivotal blood moon, which ushered in literal hell on on the continent of on the western continent in the country of Gishari. The Northern Alliance, formed by the Prism, encompassed Dinarshli, it encompassed the Glide, it encompassed, and it now encompasses Eastwing and even the Elven realms of Presta. Um, but it does not include the federated province of Avamir. The capital of the federated province of Avamir is the flying city of Intinia. It is the only flying city. It is the only flying city on the western continent, and as most people assume, it's the only flying city in the world. Although you just never know. Um, we are picking up the story in the year 1394, where the Countess of Avamir has invited. She's invited the royal prince, the heir apparent to the country of Dalmaria, the throne of Dalmaria, Prince Jean Bonfils. She has invited him to form a diplomatic and military alliance to bolster her ranks, because she is basically alone in the war. It's just Avamir, it's just her and her forces, presumably against the Northern Alliance and presumably against the forces of Hell originating from the city of Gish. So the Countess and the Countess, I'm reading chat. The Countess is invited, and we pick up on that fateful day, and we see here that there is a great parade going on through the flying city of Antinia. The royal accompaniment accompanying the prince. We see, beautiful horses with armor, and we see nobles with in carriages, and it's just a beautiful scene. It is technically winter, but a lot of Gish cities use weather manipulation magic, and Antinia is no exception. So it's just like a beautiful spring day, even though it's basically winter right now. The water is flowing, the kids are out playing, and we start to zoom in on one of our fateful little characters here today. Who would like to go first?
Sure, I can go first this time.
Okay, why don't you introduce your character and tell us where you are right now?
So, Sam, or Samuel Fidelum, is in the castle helping set up as part of the caterer's entourage, setting up chairs, putting down tablecloths, making sure last-minute linens are pressed, that food is out, things are iced as necessary, missing all of the pomp and circumstance outside, and having no ability to actually relax or frolic in that beautiful spring weather. She is, Sam uses she, her pronouns, and because Quest is amazing, there's a tiny little excerpt that I can read right off the character sheet. So, Sam is about 30 years old and about 5 feet tall. She's the party's naturalist. When people see her, they first notice her bushy brown hair, her wide eyes, and gentle disposition. You can see her wearing neutral linens, comfortable shoes, and moving with a grace that you might be not used to. And she's from the plains below Antinia, where the people are known for farming. And she believes in compassion, but her fearful nature can get in her own way. So that is what she's doing.
So you are setting up for this royal welcome, this banquet, and You are getting everything organized. So in Tinia, in this great big castle that the Countess lives in, it's very beautiful. There's a lot of like lilacs and like purples and beautiful lush greens, crystal blues, and it's overall very beautiful, this pleasing and aesthetic. One of the things that they use, because this is a country and a city of high magic, is they use ever burning like torches and lights. Like it's not like a Midrim, or excuse me, Centraga with all the lightning and stuff. But you do notice that some of the lights are flickering off and on, which is unusual because they're ever burning. And that is causing where you're working to be dim.
Matthew, if this city falls out of the sky, we will have words. Oh no.
And you notice you're not quite sure if the lights are supposed to be, and they do turn on and off at the command of like the stewards and the butlers and the people higher ranked. And you notice that there's this hallway that kind of extends down from where you are that is completely dark, and your thoughts turn to it, and you're wondering if it's supposed to be off or if the lights have turned off, since the lights are flickering around you.
Are those any of the hallways that I have to go in and out of?
Yep.
Okay. Then I might turn on my prey sense. So for the hour or so of getting ready, I would be able to sense danger and notice creatures that I can't see that might be invisible.
Perfect. Yeah. There is an invisible creature in the hallway.
Oh, well, I can't see it. I just know it's there. Oh no.
It's in that dark hallway. Mm-hmm.
I was unprepared for this. Well, all right. Well, we're going to dive right into it. If that's the case,
I would say doesn't ping your danger sense. You could just feel that it's there. If that makes sense. It's not stalking you or anything.
okay. It's not dangerous. I mean, I've worked in the castle before. Have I ever noticed anything like this?
You've worked. So you scratch your head, and you do know that the Countess employs these things that are called the invisible stalkers, and she employs them all throughout the castle to guard it.
Got it. And does this feel like one of those that I may have run across before?
You're just not sure.
Ooh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if I want to turn on Nature's Watch with real sight in like aura sight.
Yeah. You do know that invisible stalkers are made from like a wind magic ritual. You do know that.
Okay. I will make a note of it for now, and if I come across it again, I might do something about it.
Okay.
If it's a normal thing, potentially.
After a while, you're working, and then there, like, you can kind of see like there's this movement and almost like this sponging, and there's this kind of sound, like a quick little squeal, and then the presence of the invisible stalker is gone.
Okay.
And we cut over to someone else who wants to go next.
I can go next. So,
where do we find you? And tell us about your character.
So you find me sitting, I would guess, in a park. If I'm guessing the city has some parks, and I'm sitting at a fountain, feeding some birds just some pieces of scrap bread. My name is Zonoff. I am 31 years old, and I'm 6 feet 1 inches tall. I'm the party's invoker. When people see me, they notice my piercing yellow eyes and my sharp tusks. But they also notice my serene nature. I wear a white tunic with brown robes, and I move with tranquility and grace. I'm from Korkov, where my people are known for being relatively unknown to the denizens of Gishari. I believe in the law of good from Mother of Mothers, but my wrathful side can get in the way. So I'm just kind of serenely there, feeding the birds, the ducks and pigeons, and I'll kind of check my pocket for basically the invitation to this party that I saw actually fall out of the pocket of some man the other day who was harassing a beggar. I was going to give it to him, but he proved by his sour demeanor that he was unworthy of such a prize, and perhaps the Mother of Mothers wanted me to attend the party in his stead and to continue to spread her good word. So I'm keeping an eye on where the sun is in the sky and deciding when I need to kind of meander over to the party to make it there, roughly on time.
You know that time is coming soon. You see the peasants and the commoners of the city, and maybe even perhaps some minor lords and ladies wrestling about, and kind of and throughout the city, even apart from the parade, there's all these small little festivals, and it's a really good opportunity for people to sell things and make some money, and get a nice extra influx of cash and sell their wares. There's this kind of sound of something rolling, and you feel something tap your feet as an apple has tapped into your foot.
I'll glance down and kind of look to see if somebody dropped it.
There is this the pitter patter of small feet as a child comes up and grabs the apple, and then they look up. Oh, sorry.
Okay, little one.
I dropped my
Beautiful day.
apple.
Well, it's a lovely apple indeed. Are your parents around?
Yeah, my mom's over there. He points to an apple stand. He's just kind of looking up at you in wonderment.
It's like, well, those apples sure do look delicious. Perhaps I should buy one from your mother.
Are you a hero?
Well, I'm a humble servant, just looking to do good. But that's all anyone can do. I'm going to ruffle his hair.
My mom says all heroes say that they're humble servants looking to do good, and he starts to run away and goes over to his mom and hides behind her.
I'm going to, if it's okay not to drag on the scene too long, I'll walk over and say, I hear that you are supernaturally wise. To the mother.
I have been called that before. Yes.
How much for one of these red, delicious apples?
It costs nothing in coin. Only a moment of your time.
No. I'm like, I'll look back up at the sun and say, well, it must be brief. I have to be on my way. I have a party to attend.
What kind of party is that you're attending, and why are you going?
I'll kind of check the invitation. And what does it say? Is there a name for the gala?
The royal
Zonal
welcoming.
really doesn't know.
Yeah, the royal welcoming of Prince Bonfi.
It appears that I'm attending a royal welcoming of some kind. I'm going because Mother wants me to attend.
Thank you, Frost, for 1,000 bits. This woman you see now, she's wearing she's dressed somewhat appropriately, but her clothes are just a little bit too thick, and she has this kind of really nice kind of deep red cloak and hood, and her hood is covering most of her face and shadowing it. Her hands are kind of a kind of off yellow. Almost like a jaundice-like thing, and she has these kind of very long nails, which are filed very nicely, but very, very long. She grabs an apple and holds it there for a bit. She says, "And I'm sorry, I was reading chat. Why are you going?
Oh, Mother wants me to attend.
Ah, so you follow the true religion of the Mother of Mothers.
Oh, are you a practitioner? I find that there are not many on this continent.
She smiles, and as she smiles, you see a crooked arrangement of teeth. That some are made of of natural forming teeth. Some are made of the bones of other creatures, and some of them are made of wood, metal, and jewel. Would you be willing to take a gift to the castle for me?
Perhaps. What gift would that be?
Gift is a curse.
I kind of straighten up a little bit. Why would I want to do something like that?
You said you want to do good and that you follow the Mother of Mothers. This is her will. And
Is it
there's
really?
yeah, and there's something that's very familiar about this person, this woman selling you this apple and asking you to take on a curse. Perhaps a story you've heard of, perhaps just a something. And then you realize that this is the Dread Witch of Almanzul. Almanzul is a temple city in the very southern reaches of Korkoth, and it is ruled by this powerful coven of witches known as the Dread Witches of Almanzul. They're not evil. In fact, quite the opposite. Like most in Korkothian society, they follow the Mother of Mothers, and they follow the Seven Pillars. They travel the world and enact. Some of them sometimes are emissaries and travel the world and enact curses on the wicked. And you have heard a rumor that the Countess of Avamere is a wicked, wicked woman.
Would she have a title in Korkothian society? Or just Dread Witch?
She's a Dread Witch, yep.
Say, Dread Witch, you must forgive me. I did not recognize you. I scarce thought that I would encounter someone from Korkoth all the way over here. I would be glad to bring a curse if it is the will of Mother.
Yes. And the curse is for you, my darling. It's to help you.
Mother's blessings be upon me. I know that I am in the right place. Please.
The curse will protect your heart and your mind from those trying to discover the truth. However, it will also render you incapable of sharing your heart with others. You may find it difficult to tell the truth, to fall in love.
How long must I carry this curse?
Until it has done its work. A fortnight or so.
If it is Mother's will, then so be it done.
She smiles. You have operated. She says, you have operated under the guidance of the Mother of Mothers, enacting the path of good. Your righteousness has carried you forward. It's time for you to explore the other aspects of life, so that you may participate in goodness fully.
If it is Mother's will, I'm her humble servant.
Good. She hands you an apple.
Do I know instinctually if I should eat it, or
You
if
should
it's
eat
like a bring it with you kind of thing?
You tell me.
Okay.
What do you think?
I thought I should eat it, but I'm just making sure. I sometimes I'm very dense. Chase. So yeah, I'll take a bite out of it. My long tusks kind of rending a large chunk out of it, and I'll feel the juices flow down my face.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Who wants to introduce their character?
I can go ahead and go next. So, you see Dimitri running, pushing past the crowds, late to help serve, to help set up at the castle for the night. Trying to push past the crowds and get through. the parade and stuff. You don't usually see this stuff in Droska. Dimitri's 43 years old. He stands about 6'2", so he can easily see over the crowds to kind of navigate himself a little bit better, being taller. When people see me, they first notice my towering physique, my time-worn face, and my raucous laugh. I wear a grease-stained mechanics jumpsuit and a tool belt and move with like a fearless motion, just working my way through the crowd or pushing past. I'm from Droska, where my people are known for their strict adherence to the law. I believe in heroism.
The Iron Laws.
I believe in heroism, but my reckless side can get in my way. So I'm just working past them about an hour, 2 hours late. I should have been there a while ago, but they slipped in a bit.
Yeah. As you're getting closer, maybe a 10 minutes walk away, there's all of a sudden these two javelins that shut out in front of you, blocking your passage. Where are you running to?
I have a job at the castle.
Really? And you can see these two members. These are Avamerian Wind Guards. They are not town guards. They're not anything like that. They are the personal guards of the Countess herself and the keep itself. They usually don't extend outside the castle, but in events like this, and in times of security, they do.
If you need to see paperwork, I have paperwork here. And I start ruffling her, checking multiple pockets and stuff. It is someone here. Give me a bit of a second.
I want you to roll me the D20, which is in this game known as the Die of Fate, to see if you can find your paper.
She rolled 20 yet. Okay, cool. So it's
what happens is you pull out a couple pieces of paper, and the wind, because this is a windy city, literally, the wind just blows them out of your hand, and they go flying.
No. I hope those were not important.
You think no one's ever tried that trick before? Oh, the wind caught my official papers. You'll just have to take my word for it.
I mean, you could probably call the castle and check, I guess.
Call the castle?
I don't know, like sending or something?
Do we look like mage rights to you? No. And they start to... one of them places themselves in the middle of the street, and the other one starts to circle around you.
Okay.
And you hear a voice. Are these gentlemen bothering you, sir?
I mean, I think they're just doing their jobs, but I'm trying to do mine, and I can't, so... I guess, yes, a little bit?
Oh, I wanted to mention real quick housekeeping note. The art that you see, the lovely art, is provided via a license via Adobe Photo. It's an on-attribution license, but I'll just tell you, Grand Failure, Thana Wong, Roman 3D, Dominic, those are the artists that I tend to pull from. It's a great resource if you want to license some art. Sorry, what did you say?
No, they're just trying to do their jobs, but I need to do mine, so I kind of need to get through.
And you see this guy. He's rather tall, well over 6 feet tall, and he's dressed in very colorful. He has like a very bright pink cape, a white kind of like a ruffled shirt, and blue, very nice blue slacks, and his shoes match his cape. He has a couple of adornments. And he looks at both of them. He's like, "Oh, so they'll just be on their way then." And the guards look at him like, "We don't know who you are, but we're the Avamerian Wind Guard, and we're happy to arrest the both of you." And the other guard starts to approach him, and you see the man in the cape. He points 2 fingers at the guard, and the Wind Guard locks up and starts to turn to stone.
Oh,
No.
that's not good.
And the other guard, when he sees this, blows a whistle. What do you do?
I try to just take a step back into the crowd and Oh boy.
You can see in the wind these figures jumping from house to house, and some of them are flying with their javelins spinning in the air as a battalion of Avamir and Wind Guards has been summoned, some 16 strong. The man with the pink robe, or actually the other guard goes for you and tries to attack you.
Okay.
So I will roll a d20 for that. Got my generic NPC sheet. Okay, he has a tough choice. So he can either, huh?
I counterattack.
Oh, yeah, okay. Doesn't like use up his tough choice. You're just capitalizing on it, right? Or
yeah, if he an enemy within reach rolls a tough choice or worse on a basic attack against me, I parry it and take no damage. If they roll a failure or worse, I may also immediately roll the dice to make a biggest attack, but it's not a failure. But I can basically just parry it or just kind of knock his spear, because it's the spear he's using, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I just knock it away. Like, oh,
All right.
hey.
You knock it away, and I'll say that then his tough choice is actually kind of like he still gets it, but like basically what happens here is the wizard, this guy that's helping you, points two fingers at the Avamir and Windguard, and there is this thrust of telekinetic energy, and the Windguard just gets blown through a shop window.
Hey, you might be making things worse, but
there's no such thing as make. Or no, what he would say is he would look at you, he'd be like, you were never going to get any justice anyway, you might as well take a piece with you. And he juts out his hands, he's like, unless you want to be arrested, I do recommend you come with me. He puts out his hands.
I reach out for his hands.
And he pushes his hand towards, and you can feel this kind of all of a sudden like your feet are lifted, and you can feel wings grow from your feet, like spectral wings, not like real wings. And you start to fly upwards and into the air. As you do, the Avamir and Windguard see you and start to throw their javelins. One of them misses. Failure. So it just goes wide. Is there anything you want to do?
No, I will just take his lead and hopefully shows us how to get out of here and avoid these guys.
Mm-hmm. He like starts to step with you because he's like kind of holding you as he does this. He says, "Hold on, we'll get there." And he pushes his hand forward, and actually what he does is he twists in the air, and he kind of pulls back. And as he does, there's like this door through dimensions opens, and you step through it and are shunted. You land at the servants' entrance of the castle. He says, I'm very, very sorry about that. I didn't mean to catch you up in anything. You just look like you could have used a hand.
I very much appreciate it. I mean, you didn't happen to catch any papers floating around, because I'm pretty sure I still might need to present those.
You mean this? And he holds out your invitation.
Oh, thank you so much. You are a lifesaver, to say the least.
The only issue is you're probably wanted for high treason or some sort of crime.
Yeah, that might be a small problem, but yeah.
He waves his hand, and both your invitation and your appearance, only as an illusion to others, changes just slightly enough. Your hair coloration and figure and features.
Oh, it's different. Thank you. What is your name? What do I call you?
Oh, my name is Dillian.
Ah, well, nice to meet you, Dillian.
Good luck, Dimitri. And he flies away.
Perfect. I will go into the servants' entrance then.
Okay, and you enter the servants' entrance. Last and certainly not least,
Hello. Pulling up my little quest sheet.
is it this one? No.
My name is Janelle Toussaint. I am, I use she, her pronouns, and I am 25 years old. I stand 5 feet 9 inches tall. I am the party's magician. When people see me, they notice my slightly iridescent skin, my radiant smile, and I'm leaning into Trascan, and my graceful posture. I wear an elegant dress and very fine jewels. I move with an effortless glide. I am from Zalmaria, where my people are known for their commercial success and religiosity. I believe in pleasure, but my vain side can get in my way. I dream of becoming tremendously wealthy. I don't know where we find me. Somewhere in the castle, I'm assuming.
Okay. You were there powdering. Yeah, not pow. You know, the people you're with are powdering your nose. Whether or not you're powdering your nose is entirely up to you. Sorry, for a moment there, I thought you were going for a tarot card. I'm like, okay, to power your nose, I respect it.
No, sorry.
You're fine. And the I believe you are with a lady of the court, like a duchess's
Yes.
or duke's daughter. Yeah.
Yes, my date is I'll say her name is Marguerite.
Okay. Lady Marguerite.
It started off so well, and then it went very, very downhill very fast. I blame Rob.
Marguerite, she is with the other ladies of the court, and the Duchess is the Duchess of Bonfeet, Duchess Bonfeet, the sister of the prince, is there, and who are all getting ready. The lady of the court is wearing. I'm going to say she's wearing like basically the equivalent of like a medieval or not medieval, a Dalmarian like a suit, like a lady's suit. With nice tails and a good bow tie and stuff like that. She smiles. She says, "Are you looking forward to the party tonight, my dear?"
I am very much.
What are you hoping to see? What are you hoping to do?
Well, I hear fantastic things about these lemon cakes that this countess has, well, just want to see the fashion and all of the pretty little things dancing around in their pretty little dresses and suits.
She says, I was out in the city while you were getting ready earlier, while we were apart, and I met the most wonderful merchant, and I got you a little gift. She smiles, and she pulls, it is a nice, one of those flat boxes, and she pulls out, and it is just an absolutely gorgeous necklace with a beautiful, whatever gem would compliment. In my head, it's probably like a topaz or something, but yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful gem that complements your outfit.
This is gorgeous. Thank you very much.
And she puts it on you, and she says, it is only outshone by your beauty.
You flatter me. Well, the two of us will stop the room, or however you say it here.
Yes, I believe it will. I don't understand this country as much. Did you hear recently that they overthrew one of their dukes into the south?
How dreadful!
It is a scandalous. They tried this. What was her name? What was her name, Mama? Her name was Golby. Golby O'Shea. That was it. No, I think it was Gilly. Oh yes, Gilly O'Shea. Yes. Yes, she installed democracy in the country.
It's
All the ladies in the waiting spit. Next, I think they said something about the right of self-determination. Peasants deciding their own fate. Can you believe it?
Ha ha! Yes, who could believe that?
And they all have a hearty laugh. And then there's this. There's like after a little while, there's like the ding 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 ding, ding which is the cue to start getting ready and getting in accompaniment. I have not seen the prince all day. They must be putting him in a full suit with all the dressings. It will be quite a sight to see.
See many, many layers of God, I almost said democracy, but what I meant was diplomacy.
And then there's this kind of sound, this kind of there's this like this again. This kind of sound of like a dog getting hit or a cat running away, like just like a very screechy, animalistic sound that seems to originate from like one of the large closets or something like that. The door is open, the light is dim.
What was that sound?
Everyone like looks over there like, oh my goodness. Let us summon a servant to deal with this. And the Duchess rings the bell. In the kitchen, Sam. Ding 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 ding. The servant's bell is rings because there's like this whole wall of bells, and the bell you see it ring ding 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 for the Duchess Bonfie, her room. She has an issue.
Is there a telecommunication system of some sort, or is it just you run there as fast as you can?
You run there as fast as you can.
I will, with as much grace and poise as possible, run there as fast as I can, making sure that I've got like a towel, a little bit of cleaning supplies, and whatever counts for like a, bottle of water or whatever they might need. So the like standard servant's kit.
Yep. And the one of the I forget what they're called, but basically one of the higher up servants looks at you and like tells you to reaffirms that you should go and see what's going on.
I would watch for the lights to flicker again, since that was weird earlier.
Yeah, there's a couple flickers. It's been going off and on.
Okay. And I go.
Okay. You go and you'll go and you'll go and you enter with a knock knock knock. And the Duchess, yes, come in. The Duchess Bonfie says.
I'll open the door, barely step inside, bow appropriately. You rang?
Yes. There is some sort of animal in the closet or something. Something got loose. It made a noise.
Okay. I will check the closet.
You walk in. It's a very large walk-in closet. It has a bathroom in there, a vanity, a couch. It's that kind of absurdity. And you look around. It's dark in here. The lights are dimming. The lights are set on dim. You're assuming. The lights are set on dim, and there doesn't seem to be anything in here. And your sense that you have activated doesn't tell you anything.
I will pat around like I'm looking for something, pretend to find it, pretend to stick it in my pocket of like the apron or whatever I'm wearing, come back out, kind of pat the pocket down so that I can pretend there's something in there. I think I found it. I'll dispose of it immediately.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Should probably alert your exterminator.
Yes, ma'am.
The Duchess kind of looks discerningly at you. She's like, no, I suppose not. Well, perhaps. Where are you from?
Here, ma'am. The grasslands below Antinia.
So yes, you are a country woman.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll bow again because it seems appropriate.
Everyone kind of looks as you bow. She says, you only need to bow at the beginning and the end, my dear. And it is your grace, not ma'am.
Yes.
Marco leans over to Chanel, is like, she must be new.
And the Duchess has one of those absurd, beehive kind of, hairs, big poofy gown. And she's fanning herself. Tell me, have you heard? You're a servant. You must have all the good gossip. Have you heard of the rumblings to the south? This new, what are they calling it? A council state?
So out of character, I'm assuming that she's been following Selena's escapades. Yeah?
Sure, it's up to you, but yeah.
Yeah. I have heard, Your Grace. It's very interesting.
And is that something you want to happen here in Tinia? Is that the mood of the people today? They want democracy? She fans herself very haughtily when she says democracy.
That is out of our hands at this point.
Out of your hands? Why?
I'm not sure most people here would know what to do with democracy, Your Grace.
I see. So, if we throw our support behind the Countess, we're not looking for some sort of Draskian revolution on our hands.
That is a good question for minds larger than mine, Your Grace.
So modest. Oh. Thank you. Yes, I changed the art. Thank you very much. You are very gracious and gentle to humor a Duchess. And thank you for handling our little, what was this, a rat or dog?
Looks like a gerbil or a small mouse.
Oh,
A rodent? Ugh.
It's no longer an issue.
did you kill it with your bare hands?
Yes.
No, ma'am. Our traps did that work. The exterminator works well, Your Grace. I shall be on my way, if that is all, Your Grace.
And you're a bid adieu, and you're allowed to leave.
And my danger sense, my spooky abilities, my spider sense didn't go off while I was standing in the room?
Nope.
Okay.
Alrighty. The clock ticks, and the party comes as it is time to enjoy the royal welcome. Oh, I forgot about that. With that, we'll go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Okay. All right, we are back. So all the people here, all the characters are now at the reception of the Prince of Bonfi. People are schmoozing. There's a cocktail hour. That kind of thing. You can see the Countess of Avamere is there in her usual, yellows and whites, very stylistic, a la. She's inspired parts Countess of Gratham and part Queen of Roses or Queen of Thorns. So there you go. Is there anything else, or is there anything anyone wishes to do during the cocktail hour?
Janelle is schmoozing and networking and talking to whoever seems rich and important, along with wherever her date is going, because she's only here because she's the +1.
Nice. You get a lot of you get a lot of compliments on your necklace. People talk about what a stunning piece it is.
And I'm gonna say it's like to like help reflect the different iridescence going on my skin. I'm gonna say it's opal.
Nice. Jace.
I would say Zonoff would be admiring the beauty of the setting, and would be striking up conversation with servants and the people serving food.
Mm-hmm.
Looking, kind of keeping an eye on the opportunity for a sign of what he's supposed to, what he's supposed to be doing here, but just taking it all in.
Dimitri would be walking around in a nice tux now with a platter of shrimp puffs. And would you like a shrimp puff? Would you like a shrimp puff?
Oh, I thank you. Yes.
Enjoy. Just wandering through the crowd.
Shrimp
I
puff.
don't even know if I said the right word.
Well, wonders never cease. As I eat one of the shrimp puffs for the first time in my life.
Amazing.
So when Sam got back to the servants area, whoever she had served with before and were familiar with, she'd probably shit talk Janelle and the Duchess about how stupid they are with their mice that don't exist, and use that as the fodder to smile politely and every service person has their happy thoughts, and royalty being idiots seems like the right place to be for this one. So I'm making sure that the dining area is ready. So making sure dinner plates are out where they should be, glasses are filled appropriately with water but not condensating. Making sure things are perfect.
Okay. As the cocktail hour carries on, it starts to carry on a little bit longer than people probably expected. The prince seems to be arriving late, but it carries on nonetheless. There eventually comes a time where the people start to look towards the doors, and the crowd separates into two parts, allowing the procession to come through. The countess sits on her throne, a throne befitting only a countess and nothing more. And she sits there in expectation. She has probably half a dozen Avamarian wind guards behind her, as well as her servant. What's her face? He left her. So just a couple other Warforged servants. You trying to think. No. Yeah, we're fine. And eventually, the crowds part, and there's a hush that falls over the party as everyone awaits the arrival of the Prince Jean Bonfils of Dalmaria. The doors open, awaiting the royal procession. And a man steps through. He looks to be the valet to the Prince Bonfils. And he's stepping forward, and he seems to be covered in quite a bit of blood. And he says, "The prince has been kidnapped!" And he twirls around and falls unconscious. You see the Countess's face turn to like stone, not literal stone, but a stone-like face. She takes in a deep breath of frustration. She looks around. Okay. And she holds up a hand, and as she does, the doors close. And you see you can hear something fall, and then it get barricaded in. And you see the Duchess Bonfils looks over to you, Janelle, and she's like, "Did he say kidnapped?"
Think so. How dreadful.
And the Duchess turns to the Countess of Avamere and like steps out into the welcoming carpet. She says, "What is the meaning of this? The prince kidnapped under your nose, under your security." And the Countess like breathes in, and the Duchess Bonfils, she continues and says, "What is this? Your democracy has found its way up here and attacking our prince?" The Countess of Avamere says to her, "No, there are no democratic operatives. There are no revolutionaries in Avamere, although abolishing the aristocracy wouldn't be the worst idea anyone's ever come up with." And there's like gasps. She says, "I apologize for my bluntness, but we are not forging this alliance because I am a smooth talker. We're forging it because we need each other. And I'm not going to bring you here to kidnap the prince and sacrifice my only chance at saving Avamere and at saving Antinia. So let's just calm down with the accusation, shall we, Your Grace?" And the Duchess like fans herself haughtily. "But we must discover who did this. Who dare capture our parent?" Countess says, "I'm sorry, your what?" "Our parent." She looks over to one of her guards. "Heir apparent. Oh, yes, of course. The Countess says, "It's very simple. Your prince was protected by powerful wards I placed on him, and that our mages together in concert placed on him. Whoever did this is an accomplished individual, and if anything I've learned in my years of service to this country is that the wolf always hides among the sheep. So we just need to look for someone with a control device powerful enough to thwart our magics." She almost did, yeah. Chat. And everyone starts to like look around, like, and there's like this air of suspicion. And the Countess starts to scan the crowd, and she points and she says, "You." She points to you, Janelle. Come forward.
Oh, me?
The Duchess like looks at you like, "Go forward."
Okay. Whoop! She glides forward.
"That is a beautiful necklace you have there."
Oh, yes, thank you. Very, very much. It was a gift.
I'm sure it was. It also happens to be a spellbreaker's power focus.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't play coy with me.
I do not understand this word coy.
She points her hand. She's like, "This is the person who arranged and organized the kidnapping of your prince." The necklace gives it away.
Just turn towards
Your date
my date.
Yeah, your date steps forward.
Who gave me this necklace?
"I bought it from a merchant. I don't know. They were so charming. I thought I got it for a good price. 17,000 gold dragons." And everyone's like gasps at the price. "Oh, now that I think of it, that is a rather large sum. But no price is too heavy for the love of my life and the stars to meet above my sky." And she like holds your hand. "No, I show you, Countess. And she is not any sort of spy." The Countess looks very pointedly at your date. "So it is a conspiracy then." The Duchess fans herself. She steps forward and looks at you. She's like, look me in the eye and tell me that you did not do this, that you had no hand in this, that I'm not a spell breaker.
I do not know what she is talking about. I just think this is pretty, and I only have been wearing it for like the last hour.
I want you to roll me a die of fate to see if she believes you.
Oh, fuck. Well, here we go. Oh, I have to turn over to the other.
It's a failure! She steps back. I let you take my daughter. I give you shelter. I take you on a royal trip, and this is how you repay me.
No, Heat! Tell her!
Marguerite kind of looks saddened. No, I bought you this necklace. There's no way. Countess, please. Countess looks very, very sternly at you both. It's fine. It's fine. If it's not you, then it's someone else. And she holds out her hand, and as she does, there's this wave of force that goes through the room. Now, the Countess of Avamere is considered to be one of the most powerful mages in the world. The only one people thought could rival her was the Archduchess. Oh my God.
Fiona Blythe?
No, Fiona.
No, not her.
Dragon Lady. What the fuck is her name?
Oh!
Not Dupa LaCroix's alternate identity. Axel's wife. Arch-villain of Ghost in the Machine. Oh my God, how am I forgetting her name?
We're all
Angela
forgetting-
Creighton.
Yes,
Thank
Angela
you.
Creighton.
Yeah.
Thank you. How could I forget Angela's name?
Angela tracks.
Angela
the
tracks.
only person who thought could rival her is Angela Creighton, who is now presumed dead. As she does, there's this dispelling effect, and a couple of illusions drop, but the one that is most concerning is the one on our dear friend Dimitri.
I'm in danger.
And you see two of the wind guards look over at you, and they point their javelins. I saw him earlier with the Wizard Dillian.
Hello. I got accosted in the streets. And then this wizard came and helped me, and
He is in cohorts with a wizard.
I will take a step backward.
The wind guard says you resisted arrest after failing to provide evidence of your claim. Countess looks over, and since the guy is telling the truth as he understands it, she nods. So we have another. Why don't you step forward? And she beckons you.
I will work my way through the crowd. I will find like one of those tables to put my tray of shrimp puffs down on.
You see as she pulls forward, you can see she was expecting something to happen. She starts to look around. Where are my stalkers?
You are, stalkers? What?
My invisible stalkers. They guard the castle. They guard you. There would have been one in your closet.
I mean, if they're invisible, they'd be probably hard to see.
In our closet?
Yes.
There was a noise in our closet, and a servant girl came and said that it was a mouse or some kind of rodent, and took it away.
A servant lied to you.
Apparently.
And where is this servant?
The other room.
Looking at the crowd, probably doesn't actually recognize her.
In the other room setting up dinner. Ah!
There is, after a briefest moment, there is there's wind guards funnel into the room that you're in, Sam, and he says, servants, into the hall.
Sorry, Liz.
Throw me under the bus. It's all good. Storytelling. I go out in the hall with everyone else. After gingerly putting down whatever crystal I was holding. Crystal glass, crystal plates, whatever.
And then they look back to you, Janelle. Identify her. Or identify them, excuse me. My knowledge
It
on her
was, I believe, yes, this one.
And do you point to Sam?
Yes. For the expediency of things.
And she gestures forward to you. She says, "Why don't you take a stand in front of us?"
I'll step forward.
Well, that was easy. 4 potential co-conspirators.
I am sorry. You are accusing us of conspiring together?
Yes.
We have never met until this evening. At least this serving girl. I do not know this person at all.
No, you wouldn't. The best operations always play their part, and they never meet until it's necessary. How long have you worked for him?
For who?
The son of storms.
I am sorry, I do not know any son of storms.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a die of fate to see if the Countess believes you? Let's 16, you succeed. So she blinks for a moment because now she's starting to. She was so certain, and now she's starting to become a little confused. Well,
Forgive me, Countess, but I think you are seeing things that are not here.
So you don't work for the Son of Storms.
I do not know of whom you speak.
I have many enemies. The Prism. Voragesh. Many, many enemies.
Chanel having very little keeping up to date with any series of events is just sorry, who? What?
What are these words?
I
Hearing
can
the
tell you how much a diamond costs in solitude, but I do not know these names.
hearing speak of the prism, and I would step forward. Countess, if I may speak.
Go ahead.
Yes, explain what you have done.
Go ahead, Sam.
May I speak plainly?
Of course.
I was summoned to the Lady and Her Grace's rooms to investigate a noise in their closet, and instead of make them look like the simpletons that they might be, I pretended it was a mouse to make them feel like it had been taken care of so they would not continue to harass the staff.
So instead you went to gaslighting.
Why don't you roll me a
The lamp.
d20, a die of fate?
Let's see how poorly this ends. Oh, it's a 20. The first 20 I've seen roll 20 roll ever. It'll be the only 20 I roll tonight. Here we are.
You have a triumph. Yeah, and so she sits back. She says, I hear words of truth. Doesn't make any sense.
Further,
Sorry.
I just assumed your stalkers were moving of their own free will, but whatever harmed them distracts the lights. They flicker and go out wherever this disturbance is.
She kind of, you can see she's thinking, and she's taking in what you're saying pretty sincerely, but then there's like this, like the crowd starts whispering. Is he going to let them get away with this? And like there starts to be this kind of air of suspicion and difficulty. And she starts to look around. And then she turns to Dimitri. You were seen with the Wizard Dillian.
Yeah, we kind of accidentally met on the street. I was stepped by your friendly guards. And I may have lost my papers to come work here, and he kind of stepped in and turned a couple to stone. So, whoops.
One of the guards who was there speaks up. I went to arrest him and he resisted arrest. It's a crime.
I mean, I didn't 100% resist arrest. It wasn't my will.
Countess kind of sits back. I'm going to have to hold you all until we clarify this matter.
This is outrageous. I had nothing to do with this.
The necklace says otherwise.
Find the merchant who sold it to my beloved.
I assure you that will be one of the many things we do over the next few days. And as she says that, there's this kind of clink, 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 as the roof starts to caves in and starts to collapse, as a massive kind of anchor falls and lands into the ballroom here, the room here, and descending from it is the Wizard Dillian has described before, a kind of humanoid-ish figure with gray skin and kind of tattoos, well over 6 feet tall, garish clothing, and he looks around the room and he says, "Oh, it's you!" And he looks at the three of you.
It's good to see you again.
I'm sorry.
We're in a bit of a pickle.
Who are you?
It's Dillian.
I'm the ringleader, of course, of our little conspiracy. And he waves his hand, and there's a wall of like prismatic and rainbow energy that separates you and the Countess. He says, "You should really come with me if you want to live," as they say.
I do not know who you are.
We should probably go with him.
And he starts to climb the anchor, the chain.
Do either of you need a hand up? Or you can...
Janelle's just looking around wildly.
There's this kind of panicked energy that happens, and you see several Avamir and Wind Guards with their wind spears start to fly at you with their spears, Janelle.
We should get going.
I've been silently observing this whole scene unfold. Do I feel that they're being truthful? Like this kind of feels like a...
Yep.
I'm not gonna say witch
They're
hunt,
being wrongly accused.
I'm going to use my declare action, which means once per scene, I can intervene in a matter, stealing my resolve. So I'm basically, as I see these guards coming in towards Janelle, I'm going to step forward, and from beneath my cloak, I'm going to like draw my sword. I'm going to parry them to the side, trying to deflect them and give her an opening to go up the chain for the anchor.
Okay. Ding! One of the javelin flies out of the Wind Guard's hand as this figure steps in front of you, Janelle.
I think perhaps we should leave if you value your life.
But I have done nothing wrong.
I don't think that they care about that at this moment.
If I...
I'm gonna
He looks more suspicious if I flee.
Do you think that they're really looking for justice?
Of course.
The Duchess looks at you. She's like, "Don't be naive. Get in the ship and run, you idiot, before they execute you."
Oh!
I'll hold my hand out if you'll take it. You know?
So, not to make this any weirder, but I'm going to go ahead and howl, imbuing 6 nearby creatures with haste. For the next hour, creatures affected by the spell can outrun while traveling by foot.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm assuming you select the characters.
Dimitri, Zonarth, Janelle, the magician, myself, and if there's anyone else that came down the anchor or that's coming with us. If there is an extra, sure. If there's not, it'll just be the 5 of us.
Okay. Forgot to prep my chase music.
Oh.
Marguerite, my love, remember me.
I'll clear your name. I will wait for you, darling. We'll just do this. And yeah, the Avamere. So one Avamere Wingard, you guys are running twice as fast. So one Avamere Wingard gets parried by the orc that takes, or excuse me, by Zonoff. That takes care of Zonoff and Janelle. One of them then goes for you, Dimitri. What do you do?
I will try to dodge out of the way, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You can do that, no problem. This is like, what do you want to do proactively?
Oh, got it. I'll try to like back their spears away and then head towards the chain and kind of start working my way up the chain. Just hand over, or if I see any of the others like lagging behind or anything, try to help them along too.
So you parry the attack and then you use this haste to run, and you are actually faster than them even as they fly towards you. Sam, are you making your way up the chain? What are you doing?
With my fearful nature and stabby sticks, I'm running.
I'll start running.
The
The chain is a bit of a climb, and you see the Wizard Dillian look down, and he's like, he starts sucking in, and the wind starts gathering and starts lifting you all up as the wind guards with their javelins fly up the chain and are like poking at a couple of you. You're all moving rather fast. One of them is going to strike out at you, Janelle.
Oh, but why?
They fail. They miss, and their javelin goes in the chain and kind of breaks. Another one is going to stab at... I'm going to say Zonoff. They have a tough choice. So they can get the stab in, but it's going to mean that you're going to get out of their reach. You're going to just take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
But
Gotcha.
you successfully make it onto the thing.
Yeah, I'll try to. I'm keeping myself interposed between Janelle and the stabby swords, and maybe I open up my guard a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Restarted the track.
Up the chain.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do against the wind guards?
If it looks like they can fly, right? They're coming at us. I'm gonna reach out, like I'm gonna hold my sword behind me, and I reach out with a hand, and I'm gonna use Thunderous Word, spending 2 power points.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll this so you can see what it does. So I'm gonna try to hit them with a Thunderous Word and just knock them prone if I can.
Nice. You don't have to roll. Do you have to roll, or?
It doesn't say. It just says you speak a word of power, releasing a thunderous shockwave in the direction you're facing. The wave knocks up to 3 creatures backward and hits them for 2 damage. It takes 2 power points.
Yeah,
So,
that's very common. There's not a lot of roll adventure points. So what happens is like they start to all gather at you, and they all to go towards you, and you utter that word, and the thunderous blast blasts them down because they literally cannot fly once that hits them. They're all dazed, and they tumble backwards one by one, all the wind guards. You see the Countess of Avamere is standing now at the bottom of the chain as the chain starts to get rappelled up, and you see her kind of look up, and she extends just a single hand towards you, Zonoff. She's going to try to attack you.
I'm going to intercept. So I'll interpose myself in between to try to just soak that. I don't know if she counts as a nearby NPC.
She's not. I forget what nearby means.
Uh,
Let me look. I got it right here. She's not nearby.
Okay.
She'd be
Never
in
mind.
range. Okay. She's at the bottom of the chain. Y'all are towards the top, towards the airship. She misses. God, I'm rolling so many failures. There's this blast of like what kind of happens is that thunder wave you sent out. You see it warble as like she extends a hand, and it starts to turn and reverses, and like a blast of thunderous wave, like a spear of thunderous energy flies, but it just passes by you.
Pillar of strength, guide me as I continue up the chain.
Yep. You all start to climb up on the airship, and you can see the wizard Dimitri is manning the wheel there. And as the anchor comes up, this is an elemental type engine, which is actually one of the earlier models, and you can see the fire elemental roar to life in this massive ring that surrounds the airship. He says, "Hang on to whatever you got to hang on to," and he starts to spin the wheel as the airship starts to fly out.
Janelle gets flung right into Zona.
I'll try to steady her if possible, like grabbing onto whatever rigging and whatnot.
There is like a gathering darkness or a storm that starts to gather as you see flying out from the keep the Countess of Avamir by the sheer force of will. Holds up her hands and looks at the airship as the airship starts to fly away.
I'm going to pull out the amulet. The amulet shows an infant, an orcish infant. I'm going to grasp it and just say a few words, and this gentle glow of blue and yellow kind of starts to envelop me as I cast shield upon myself.
It was not me! Janelle just screams.
And I'll take kind of a step forward, readying myself if they come within range.
She is. So the ranges in this game, just to clarify, in reach, which is like right next to each other. Nearby, which is like a leap away and you can get them. In range, which is like a crossbow shot, and then too far, which is too far.
Gotcha.
She's currently in range. As the airship moves, she'll start to be too far, but someone has to do something to impede her. Otherwise, she's gonna just catch up.
Okay. I'll let other people go. I have a ranged attack if people want. Otherwise, I can let other people go who are spellcasters and whatnot.
You can also roll the die of fate to try to do something like more physical, like toss a bolus at her.
Sure, yeah. So that's exactly. So I pull out a sling, like a simple sling with and I'll put a smooth pebble in it, and I'm gonna whip it at her just to try to impede her movement.
One sec, Janelle, did you have something? You started to talk.
I was looking and I'm like, well, that's nearby. Never mind.
Okay.
So, ranged attack?
You just roll a d20.
Tough choice. I don't want to do damage to her. I'm literally just trying to hinder her progress. In fact, I would choose progress over damage.
So here's your tough choice. You can either in the leaving, you're gonna leave something important behind, or she can get a shot at you.
I'll let her get a shot at me.
Okay. There is a of lightning as you send out this bolus, and the lightning hits you square smack dab in the chest and sends you spiraling. You take 6 points of damage.
All right, that's reduced by 3 by my shield.
Nice.
So I take 3 points
It
of damage.
shatters through your shield, but you can tell it's slowed. The momentum is slowed by it. Slows the lightning bolt some, and the bolus wraps around her, and she's like, ah, and she starts to fall. And the airship gets away. The wizard Dillian says, "Hang on!" as it roars to life. Oh, and he spins around. He kind of looks. He's like, we can either go north to Cardoon or try to hide in the plains. It's up to you.
How is the man to know the meaning of this?
You're being charged with sedition and conspiracy, ma'am.
Because of you?
Some of it's my fault.
So I could point out caves along the plains that would be as part of the hills that I think would be big enough. I have a feeling they're not quite big enough for an airship and all these people because child's memory, but it just as a player, that would be my thought. But
perhaps a secret grove.
Potentially. But yeah, grove or caves that we would have played in as kids.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta switch the image.
I will point to the plains.
Okay, let's try that for now. And he starts to swing it the other way as the airship dips down, as the fire just breathes to life, and the airship is traveling at incredible speeds.
Woo! Janelle tumbles into Dimitri.
Oh, careful. You should probably hold on to something.
I am sorry, I do not know what to hang on.
These older models tend to have a little bit more giddy up to them than the newer ones.
Very true.
I dust myself off and I'll sheathe my sword, which I didn't end up using. Well, that was a rousing series of events. Are you both okay?
I am this is highly irregular. I can't do that.
No, I don't want that. Sorry, music. You're fine. I should mute myself.
It's probably better
most
than...
certainly... Oh, go ahead.
Probably better than what would have happened if we stayed.
Oh, indeed. I believe that there would have been a mock trial. Kangaroo court, I believe is the term. And
What
they
is
were
this
looking
kangaroo?
for... Oh, it's a strange animal. I actually encountered it recently on my travels. It hops around and anyway, I think that they wanted somebody to be guilty. These people aren't interested in the rule of law, justice, or being good. They just wanted a scapegoat, and that was, well, you four.
Dylan, do you know what's going on? Like, can we have some amount of explanation? I mean, you kind of got me.
This was going to be fine until you showed up and said that we were your accomplices, which is highly false.
Hey,
Okay.
Incredibly false. I demand an explanation.
Dimitri.
no. Look, I'm looking for an explanation here. She's right. We need an explanation.
The Dillian floats down towards you, and it comes off of the the captain's wheel, and you can see he, like, with just like a little wink, a little pull of his finger, he continues to steer the ship. Well, it's a bit complicated. You understand, a few friends of mine and I were planning something tonight, but it all seemed to go it started going awry a bit at a time, and we had to improvise. And since a lot of you are being accused and we're probably going to be executed or imprisoned for life anyway, I thought I'd do you a service and save your lives.
I mean, the only reason I was going to be imprisoned was because of well, I guess you saved me before, but I don't know, it's complicated.
Yes, we were systematically eliminating her defenses, planning for a bit of a strike. But then someone went and kidnapped the prince, I don't know who, and everything kind of went awry. I'm sorry that you all got caught in the middle of it, but I'm afraid the Count of Avamere is in a rather tough position. I mean, she points to Janelle. You probably could have... He says, you probably would have been fine. Maybe. But the commoners... Whew.
Well, then what is this? She points to the necklace.
He looks at it. I honestly don't know. May I see it?
Yes, you may see it plainly from where you are standing.
May I hold it?
I do not think I can trust you.
Okay. Well, we're both wanted for sedition and conspiracies, or excuse me, sedition and treason. So.
Yes, however, I know I was not doing any of these things, and you most certainly were.
How do you know?
You just admitted it.
That's true. But in a country where the rule of the law is up to the whims of the dukes and duchesses, maybe you wouldn't have been
loss?
I don't know what that amulet is. It's not mine.
It's muted. Oh, sorry. I didn't catch any of what you just said.
It's still very pretty. I'm going to keep it.
Indeed.
Nothing ever exists entirely alone. Everything is in relation to everything else. Perhaps it was fate that brought us all here today.
I like that.
Yeah. I've always found that it's easier to go with the flow of things. Makes it much easier.
So we're to hide out in some caves.
In a cave?
Yes, I believe that was the plan. I kind of look over to Sam. I'm not from around here.
It's the closest, safest place for me to leave you all and find home. And I'll go back to sitting against the wall, being afraid and quiet.
I just lean in and I whisper to Janelle, I say, the resistance to an unpleasant situation is often the root of suffering. I just kind of nod to her and kind of walk over to the edge of the ship to kind of take in the scenery.
What?
Dillian,
Sort of sits down and like sort of disassociates for a minute.
The wizard continues. He's like, but now that we are all here, allow me to introduce myself. I am the famous, the legendary, the renowned Wizard Dillian.
Yes, you are none of these things. I do not know who you are until today.
I'll quietly from the back.
Y'all have no idea who I am, do you?
No, not.
This is
not
what I've been
as
saying
not as
this
such.
entire time.
I'm not from around here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Have you helped the prism?
No, I've never met them, but a friend of mine has.
Which friend is that?
He's known by the Son of Storms.
This is this person who the Countess accused of being in cahoots, cohorting, whatever
Yep.
the word is.
Yep. He was the one traversing the he was traversing the castle, killing all the invisible stalkers.
So you are conspiring with the Son of Storms.
Oh yes, I'm very much guilty of sedition and conspiracy.
What is your goal?
Well, before I could tell you up front that it's to overthrow the Countess. Probably by, I believe the Son of Storms wanted to assassinate her, but we needed to do something else first.
Dastardly.
And would it have been in the papers, so since she mentioned that she was an enemy to the prism, would it have been in the papers of like how that falling out happened?
No one knows it was her that. No one has publicly said it was her that killed Beverly. The son of Sun, Solomayor.
Okay. But would it have been advertised that they had been working together previously?
Yes, there was definitely a falling out. People know that. They just don't know why.
Gotcha. Perfect.
So, and I'm happy to tell you why if you want to hear.
Why not? I have nowhere else I am going right now. I have been educated.
Well, you see, before the Son of Storms was the apprentice to the Countess of Avamere, I was. She taught me magic, but more of the generic arcane variety: transmutation, abjuration, evocation, illusions, all those great flavors. But I wanted to do different things than she wanted to do. She wanted to establish a ruling class of mages separate from the Presidium, known as the Magisterium. I wanted to build a tower and teach people how to use their magic for free. Well, for a small fee. So I left and fled to Cardoon, where I now live, in a tower, which I call Dillian's Tower.
Is an apt name.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. And I travel the world advising courts towards peace and advising them how to use magic. And in my tower, young wizarding students are allowed to come and they are given room, board, and lessons for free. The only thing that we ask is that when those students come of age, they contribute their findings, a portion of their findings, to the tower's resources, kind of like a tithe. A way for them to pay back. They only need to do this if they wish to maintain privileges and memberships at the tower. But I digress. He waves his hands again.
I like the elevator pitch of it. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
So, as it turns out, after I left, she got another apprentice, the Son of Storms, as he's now known. And she did something very terrible. She found the heart of a primordial god and chained it to her body. She betrayed a storm giant known as Quail, a storm giant quintessence known as Quail, and merged the forbidden secrets of the primordial gods with the current arcane practices to give herself more power. It was a profane act. She made an enemy of Quail, she made an enemy of the Son of Storms, and, well, eventually the Son of Storms found me and asked me to help. And I said, sure.
Nell just looks like she's trying to do calculus.
And your ultimate goal?
Well, I'm just here to help, but the Son of Storms wants to get the heart out of the Countess. He wants to separate the two so that she's not so terrifyingly powerful, as you can see.
Understood.
How do you think we can help?
Well,
You just to drop us off.
I'm happy to drop you off if you don't want to help. You can go on about your business, and our little tale can end here. But if you're interested in righting wrongs and correcting ancient rights, you all can accompany me.
I mean, I'm probably not going to get employed in Antini again, so... I mean, what else do I have to do?
No, you're definitely wanted.
Would any of these include discovering who has kidnapped the prince?
Well, I suppose we could do that along the way.
Because that would surely clear my name and put me in much higher standing.
I don't know how I'd go about that, but sure. We'll find out who kidnapped the prince.
Is he just 100% bullshitting her at this point?
You can't really tell. You can't tell. Not even the die of fate will help you. He's
Like
probably
above the table, is he?
he's placating you.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
This
Janelle
is where
has
I'm
no
in.
idea.
This is where I'm meant to be. If she has taken such profane acts as you have described, then it's not mere coincidence that I was here to help.
Okay.
And
Oh, go ahead.
what else do we get out of this arrangement?
Well, I'll let you stay on my airship.
I'm okay with
You
this.
have abducted us onto your airship, so
I
that is
did-
not criminal.
I didn't abduct you. I strongly encouraged you that you come on.
After implicating me in your crimes.
Well, your necklace implicated you in my crimes, and I just kind of, loudly suggested that that was correct.
We have a debt. You have a debt. You must settle it. I don't know how we are going to do it yet, but we will figure it out.
Kind of looks up. Okay. The airship continues downward. He says, "This ship was a loan. It's called the Storm Warden. It's a loan from the Son of Storms."
Magnificent vessel.
It is very nice make. Sturdy. I'll start walking around inspecting all the pieces and whatnot.
It is okay.
How does it work?
Oh, well, that, he points to it, is what we call a greater fire elemental. It powers the ship. The ring that contains it is a super powerful artifact. I communicate via the wheel and kind of via an attunement process telepathically to the elemental.
Do
So
you
the
not have
creature
anyone
is-
to dust?
What?
Sorry.
You go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Chase. I was just
Hey,
being
go
a
ahead.
shit.
I'll say, so there's a creature entombed within that ring?
Willingly, yeah. He and I made a deal. He gestures to the fire elemental.
Interesting.
I
What is
feed
that?
him, protect him. He flies the ship.
Huh?
Are you sure you did not abduct it?
I don't abduct people.
I love these two.
Zonoff is just going to go
Firmly
off and...
still believing she's been abducted.
Zonoff just says, wherever you are, that's the place that you need to be. And I'm going to wander off and kind of inspect the ring because I'm just really entranced by it.
Not the platitudes.
Not the platitudes.
Who is so Dimitri and Zonoff? You're both trolling the ship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are you like going, like checking out every room and just checking stuff out?
Yeah, chicken make model. Make sure everything's looking okay. Seeing how it all is wired together and stuff. Being an airship engineer, it's kind of my gym.
Okay, I want you both to roll me. Oh, sorry, is that the same for you, Zonoff? You're going through and like seeing what's what.
Yeah, mine is literally out of pure curiosity of this thing. I'm just trying to take it in because I don't know if I've ever been on an airship before. Maybe. So yeah, I'm just kind of checking it out.
Okay, I want you both to roll the die of fate. There's no actual like failure here. This is literally pure like who does the thing. It's whoever
not
gets
me.
higher.
18.
Okay.
3.
Okay, Zonoth, along your travel, it's a beautiful ship. It's a bit confusing in its layout. It like doesn't follow like the common structure. Like storage is the first thing you hit. You move past storage into like bedrooms. It's very awkwardly laid out. Seeing almost like it was built almost like a piece like not procedurally or like a piece at a time. Like one thing and then like, oh, let's build this thing next. Okay, let's build this thing next. Dimitri, what you do find among kind of one of the rooms or within the storage is there is this kind of very awkward looking mechanical what is known as a harvest construct or what is actually colloquially known as scarecrows. There are these machines, these machines stuffed with straw. And they've got like the hat on and everything, and they help harvest grain and stuff like that in the winds, in the plains.
An interesting thing to have in a ship.
As you stand in front of it, its eyes light up, and it.
Hello there. I'll take a step back.
And it steps forward. It looks at you.
And nice to meet you. It's. What are you doing up here?
It starts to spin, like it has like kind of like a way it can like basically spin its body 360 degrees. Just kind of spins around.
Yeah. Oh.
And wherever you go, this thing is going to follow you.
Perfect. So, do you have a name? Do you talk? You just spin?
It doesn't reply.
Well, let's go. I'll just keep wandering down the ship and just keep looking over my back shoulder at the thing, making sure he's still there. It's still there. Hey.
After a while, Zonoth would return to like the deck, and he would probably go and if Sam was still sitting, kind of up against the railing or whatever, he would just kind of sit next to her and cross his legs.
Yeah, she's sitting against the railing, kind of with her knees pulled up to her chest with her arms around her knees, just now that everyone's not doing anything, just being as small as possible.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Sorry, I wanted to resolve Zonoth's thing.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're fine. Zonoth, what you find that like just seems to be kind of stuffed in between like couch cushions or something is it looks to be a very, very nice sword, and its hilt has it seems to be like the sword itself seems to be the blade itself seems to be made of some kind of like refined skeleton, but it seems like metal. And the scale has scales on it. Or the hilt has scales on it. This is Draconis. It is a longsword.
Beautifully made.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just stuffed between some couch cushions?
Yep.
I just kind of twirled around a little bit. I'm like, you need a home.
You can add Draconis to your inventory if you want.
I have? Okay. I'll say, we'll find you where you belong. And I just kind of put it on my belt. And then go back to the deck and sit next to Sam. Have you ever been on an airship before?
Once or twice. You get used to them flying around Antonia.
And you said this is your homeland? And I kind of gesture over the railing.
It is. Where do you hail from?
Oh, I come from the Pillar of Good in Korkov.
What is a pillar of good?
Oh, it's one of the 7 mountains. The pillars of creation.
What are the other 6 named?
Well, if you'll let me reference my notes instead, because I've only memorized the one. Life, death, magic, chaos, law, good, and evil.
Well, if you have to be from one of those 7, then being from the pillar of good is a good thing, right?
Well, I mean, I would almost say that's a common misconception. The 7 pillars of life, they make up all of life. You know, you really can't have, well, you couldn't just have 6 pillars, you know, but I'm happy to be from the pillar of good. I think it suits me.
And so in Sam's mind, she's imagining not necessarily mountains, even though he described it as mountains, but like a pantheon or a Parthenon of just columns of like those grooved ionic columns. Yeah. Well,
I will say, because we were just in a flying seat. I haven't seen the map of Gish in a long time. Forgive me. Are we anywhere close to Bridgeton? Have we been close to Bridgeton at all?
No.
Okay. I'll say it this way. I'm like, I hear that you have the city of Bridgeton rests upon an enormous mountain. I hope to see it at some time during my travel.
most people do. I've never been.
Well, perhaps our adventures will take us there one day.
Perhaps not.
Wherever Mother takes us. No, if you excuse me, I'd like to sit in some contemplation and digest today's events.
That's what I was trying to do. Be my guest.
Apologies if I intruded. I didn't ask. Now just kind of quietly sit next to her. I think I'm going to use a power, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got blasted hardcore.
Sure did.
And I can't heal because I'm already at half.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm at 5, so it wouldn't do him any good. So I am going to use the power of... One moment. I'm going to roll it for you. Petition. So basically, I close my eyes and calm my body. And I recite a boon to the Mother of Mothers. And when it's done, I will have all of my hit points restored. So I will just say, quietly under my breath, I will say, Mother of Mothers and the love of good, I ask for strength, restoration, and serenity, for I am your humble servant. And then my my wounds all magically close up.
Nice. Yeah, you healed the full.
Thank you, Mother. I'm down to 5 adventure points. Woo woo!
Meanwhile, Chanel is just assessing the damage done to her dress.
After a while, I'll wander back up on the deck, looking for Dylan. Hey, you get a bit lost. Your layout is kind of strange from their ship. I also found a friend. You call them Spins. I don't know if they have a regular name. He won't talk to me.
He looks over. Never seen that before, but okay.
He was below deck on your airship. Well, if you knew. Okay.
Maybe he snuck on board when we all did.
Would Sam be familiar with these things?
Yeah, they're very common to, like, usually, like, like poor peasants might have like one, to help them along, and it's an older model. But yeah, they're the larger estates have these. They're the ones that automate a lot of the work.
Would I know how to turn it off?
They have like there's no off or on. They just do it by themselves.
Oh, got it.
Dillian says, well, yeah, since I commandeered this thing, I've added my own little spin onto it. So I've added some rooms and things, and every once in a while, when you add a room, some things get pulled in from other dimensions, and I'm not exactly, an architect, so I just kind of let the magic add the rooms, so things can get a little confusing, but it's fine. I like it that way.
He seems nice enough, so it's always good to have another friend.
You call him Spins?
Yeah, he spins around. Doesn't talk much. Or at all.
He leans in and looks into the eyes of the harvester. Spins? And the thing goes.
See?
Okay. And the ship is now kind of landing and kind of at the base of the mountain range, the Elementine Mountains that are just north of Avamere in the grasslands now, kind of where the grasslands and the mountains meet. Yeah, and I think it gets steered into like a cave-like forestish kind of formation. And he kind of, as he settles it down, he's like, "This should do." He says, "We're still kind of like sitting ducks out here. Be nice if we could hide ourselves some way. Anyone got a big tarp?"
Oh,
They don't
Unfortunately,
say
no.
much of anything.
Does anyone have a little tarp?
That was not one of the useful items that I chose. If you can make something bigger, if you can embiggen something, I could give you my cloak.
Are we
Brown cloak.
at the base of a mountaintop where a waterfall could obscure this space?
It'd have to be a very big waterfall,
Like from really high up, or just a really big waterfall?
like a wide one,
A wide one.
because it's a very long ship. Ship.
How many containers of water do we have?
I don't know. I probably have several barrels.
Can you help move me up the mountain so I can sit them at the top?
Sure. And he points his hands towards the door, the door to the entrance of the ship, flies open, and these barrels start to dance out. They're like going side to side.
If I used wild font to connect up to like a stream or something and add water to it, could that create enough of a waterfall effect to cover the ship?
Sure. Link me wild font, but yeah.
Let's go ahead and link that.
Yeah.
It might be limited because it only works for a minute.
Oh, surplus, like get it to overflow. Ah, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for I'll say for like just to kind of get things going, kind of thing. You're able to like kind of push some water around, but it at least creates something. Once you get the water going, get the barrels lined up, and things start to overflow and get the water moving, it rushes down and starts to cover the ship some. So you can spend that adventure point.
Perfect. Nothing like adding a little nature.
He looks over. He's like, "Oh man, they're gonna hate that." And he looks over to his fire elemental, and the fire elemental is like now sinking into the ring. It's barely like lit up.
Oh, I assumed that this was an overhang that like the ship was inside of so that it wouldn't get the ship all wet.
It is. It's not getting the ship wet. It's just the proximity of water. Hi, sweetheart.
Gotcha.
A side note, proximity of water, the kind of cult classic prequel to The Shape of Water.
Yeah. So he looks over and you can see the fire elemental is shrinking and that kind of thing. Well, he kicks back and just like on like a couple of boxes and like a sack of grain. He's like, "What are we gonna do for the rest of our night together?"
What do fire and elementals eat?
Oh, people.
And have extras of those lying around.
I'm kidding. I mean, they can eat people. I feed him bacon. He likes bacon, eggs, meats, veggies, anything really that's tasty.
Delightful.
Hungry myself. We did not really get to eat anything besides the appetizers.
Did you say you're not hungry?
I am very hungry.
Oh.
We did not get to eat besides appetizers. So, do you have food?
Yeah, I do. I keep food storage. I'll cook. He starts to go towards the inside the ship. Let's see here. He like enters this kitchen that's just absolutely cluttered with stuff, and like he's like looking around, and there's like this small little ice box kind of thing. Well, I've got some food here, sweetheart. Hi, sweet baby. My dog is here. Hi.
She said, I'm a pig.
They're not.
Yeah. Huh?
She's not food, no.
Dogs are not food.
No, not this little pig. Not this
Yeah,
little pig.
pigs are for scritches, not for foods.
He did say he has bacon.
That's right. I need to let her out. She really needs to go. Do we want to just take a quick break?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Okay, we pick back up with the airship landing in this kind of grove in a hidden part of the world. Let's see here. Where's the art for this? What do I want to use? Let's do that. And then I'm going to turn on some music. Nope. I have a good track for this. I just gotta find it. Maybe I didn't add it. Let me go. I'm gonna grab it real quick. So yeah, we pick back up. It's now nighttime. Dillian, the wizard, does cook you up some nice food. And you're all kind of sitting around. Okay, yeah. You're all kind of sitting around, a nice little dinner table and talking. What is it that you would like to develop? Just as like an editor's note, like now is a good time to like talk. I'm going to talk a little bit more about like the stakes and like what's happening in background that's driving all of this, and then the rest of you can develop your characters as you want and decide how you feel about things going on and that kind of thing, or do whatever you want really. But
I'm going to be feeding the fire elemental half of whatever I've got. I trust it. I feel bad.
The fire elemental roars as you feed it, and it talks to you. What voice do I want for it? I could go that way.
Frankie's voice.
Yeah. Hey, yo! I could do that. Hey, thank you very much for that bacon, ma'am.
Does it have a cigarette too, like everything else I talk to in this game?
No. It's smoking naturally. I'm
Right.
naturally smoking.
Well, you're welcome. I'm sorry I caused your problems. I was just trying to hide the ship.
It's all right. I'm Ignatius Califracius, and you are?
Samuel. You can call me Sam.
Pleasure to meet you.
Ignatius Califracius.
Ignatius Califracius.
I'm here for it. But, yeah, just I will sit near the fire elemental while participating in everything else. Sorry to derail us. Not sorry. Ignatius Califracius.
Dillian speaks up. He says, "So I to kind of tell you all what's going on here, what we're trying to disrupt. I'm sure you're aware that there's a civil war going on. The south has been overtaken by the forces of actual literal hell. The Northern Alliance, such as it's called, is being led by a group known as the Prism. They seem just fine. As far as I know, none of them are from hell. And then the Countess has decided to go on her own. She's not allied with the forces of hell or the Northern Alliance. And the big skinny on that is on the night of the as what they're calling the Blood Moon at the 200th year centennial of our of this republic. It is rumored that she assassinated the Solamayor, the son of suns, the lost prince of the Dimir.
I thought the Son of Suns was conspiring with you to kidnap the prince.
No, that's the son of storms.
So they are two different people?
Yes, the son of suns is Solamayor. He was an elf.
Okay.
The name Solamayor translates in the common tongue. It translates to son of suns. Mayor is sun, S-U-N. Sol is sun, S-O-N.
Thank you for the etymology.
Oddly enough, the Mayor family are Dimir, which are the elves of the night sky.
So that is not confusing then at all, huh?
Well, they say, if you really care for a little bit of history lesson, the Mayor name actually comes from back in the day when a Dimir family needed a convenient political alliance, so they wedded to a Sun Elf family and took their name, but then the Dimir line continued.
Okay.
Yep.
That's very interesting.
It's interesting, but it doesn't develop our current situation at all. Feeds nothing into it. Just history.
And he was allied with the Prism and the Countess before she betrayed him?
Well, the Countess was a bit MIA, as they say, but yeah, he was allied with the Prism. Some say that he and Sovelius were perhaps even lovers.
Well, if she betrayed the Prism in such a way, I can stand against her.
Oh yeah, you a Prism fan? I think they call them Prism stands.
You could see it that way. I grew up with one of them.
Oh wow. He looks. He thinks about it. You're an ancient elf?
Absolutely. What's the plan?
Well, that's where things get tricky. The Countess has in her possession, chained to her body, they say, a stone, a true artifact of the ancient primordial elder god, the ever-living inferno, the immortal tempest, Auron. In order to remove it, we need magics just as potent.
Where do you expect to find that? I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not going to find an ancient primordial piece lying around in the plains.
He kind of kicks back. Have you ever asked yourself why Antinia is where it is? It's a flying city. You could build it anywhere, right?
Wizard? I don't know.
Not understand the finer details of constructing a city in the air, so I do not know.
Well, when the four primordials were slain by the earliest, the beings that would be gods, during what is known as the Dawn War, more history, their bodies left behind elemental nexuses, vortexes of pure raw undiluted elemental energy throughout the world. But on the Republic of Gashire, there are at least 2 confirmed locations. For the Eternal Earth, Terra, it is said that a piece of her pure essence and energy landed in the Stone Marsh in the city of Spirok. For the god Auron, the Immortal Tempest, well, a convection of wind energy landed smack dab in where Antinia stands now. The Countess knew this, and that's why she chose Antinia to build the Flying City. That's where she unlocked the magic for airships. That's how she built the Flying City itself. And that's what keeps it afloat. The 4 winds, all converging on one point. There's a lot of those places all throughout the world, but that's definitely one of them. So she's near an elemental nexus already.
But if we... I'm not a huge person that knows too much about the magic, but I mean, if you drain from one source, like, what will happen to the city if you need to use that magic to stop her? Does the city fall?
Yeah, it would go tumbling down like a sack of potatoes. But we're not going to do that, because that would be genocide.
It would be very bad.
That would be decidedly ungood.
But here's the skinny. You gotta picture a primordial elemental nexus, like a footprint or like a punch, and now like a print of a punch when you punch the wall or something. You know how there's the huge crater in the middle and then all the splintering?
Yes.
All right, now amplify that by 1,000,000. Antinia is where the fist print is. We just need to find one of the spirals. Now, pop quiz, kiddos. What's north of Antinia in the Elementine Mountains? You were
Actually, no. Janelle probably would know. Cartoon?
Yes, and what is Cardoon known for?
I don't think Alexis knows the answer to that.
Where does Selena's staff originate from?
Dune. They're known for their elements.
Yep, elemental magic.
Okay.
So, kiddos, somewhere in Cardoon is enough power, energy source, just north of probably where we are now, for us to harness to, well, get the job done, as it were.
So we venture north to Cardoon to harness some of this elemental magic.
That's the plan.
I've never been to Cardoon. Be nice to see it.
He said, I mean, Liz,
We lit.
I live there, but I mean, well, technically my place is in Cardoon, but technically it's also not. Do you know much about Cardoonese, the Cardoonese way of life?
Not a thing.
Oh, okay. Most of their population is, how do we say, not free.
And you can see like the slight smile on Zonoth's face kind of fall a little bit. And he says, "Oh, well, that is supremely ungood."
But as long as we keep out of the way, we'll be on the hinterlands. As long as we keep out of eyesight, we shouldn't cause any trouble. We'll go from being outlaws to outlaws.
Well, one fire at a time, I suppose. Deal with the situation now, and, well, perhaps I can deal with Cartoon later. So this plan.
1 second, Janelle, you're being voice gated. You're being gated.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't
Sorry, I
have
didn't see
anything
your,
on to do that.
didn't see your mouth moving.
I would just like project more, probably. That's all I could say.
Does Zoom have a thing to do that on?
Auto adjust maybe. Sometimes Zoom just
Yeah.
its gate is just kind of aggressive. It happens to Corey
Doesn't-
sometimes too.
Doesn't have that. Okay, well, I don't have any of those things checked, so I don't know what to do about it except talk louder.
Yeah.
I think. Well, what did I say? She said, Janelle said, do you have anything for a headache?
No.
Because
drink some water.
Yes. Okay. Good. It's like the reality of her situation is like oppressively weighing on her.
And the good news is, if we stop the Countess of Avamere, if we, do the whole thing, she won't be able to attack the Prism in the Northern Alliance and weaken them against Avorigish.
I still do not understand how the five of us are supposed to stop someone this powerful.
Well, that's where the primordial magic comes in. Hopefully it'll help.
You do some powerful magics. You look like you did some fighting. You are suddenly healed, even though I saw you get hurt earlier, so that's interesting. And you did this waterfall thing. I don't do any of that.
If you walk a day and a half that direction, you'll find a village that might help.
Help who? How?
If you don't want to do this, that's your next option.
I am saying I do not understand how how I can help.
You'll find a way.
I'm sure we'll figure it out as we go. I mean, it's always the best option.
I mean, you can drive the bus that runs us all over at some point.
Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone.
I do not understand that one. That one doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just be here and see what happens then.
What's the relationship between Del Mario and Cardin?
That's a good question.
I can't remember what Cardoon did during the Great War, but I don't think Dalmaria and Cardoon were ever allies in any way. They probably trade. I mean, Dalmaria is rich with finance. Like, they're very good. They have a lot of investors. Jupiter LaCroix was a financial investor. So probably some sort of financial trade relationship.
And this
Nothing
would
more.
be general enough knowledge that we would have a vague understanding of how this works.
I mean, you know that they're like somewhat friendly, not very much.
Gotcha. Well, how about this? You can be a pretty face. If we get stopped by anybody, you can pretend to own all of this and keep us from getting abducted and enslaved again.
Can't
You're-
hear what you said.
That didn't come through.
I can try to do that.
Every group needs someone pretty, and that speaks pretty.
I feel like you might be being condescending, but I don't care because it was a compliment.
Everyone has gifts. Some people just don't know what they are yet. Mother of mothers would not have put you here if she didn't intend for you to help.
Who is this mother of yours?
She is. Hold on, let me pull up my reference. She. Just I have notes. She's one of the goddess of the high heavens. She's the one whom I pledge fealty.
Oh.
She guides me and brings me where I can bring some good.
So, Marissa.
No.
Is the Marissa's mother?
Honestly, I'm not a theologian. I don't know much about Marissa. Perhaps, other gods by the same names. Mother of Mother teaches about life, law, strength, cooperation. I mean, and I kind of gesture to myself. She's mostly followed by people of my kind from Korkoth. I've only encountered one or two people here on Gashari who even know who she is. But maybe we'll change that.
Well, hopefully your mother will assist us. And
She does
so
every
will
day.
Marissa.
I mean, perhaps they're just opposite sides of the same coin. Who knows?
In our current situation, I think any help is appreciated, no matter where it comes from.
Of course. So tomorrow we head north? Is that my understanding?
I do.
Apparently.
I look forward to seeing it. He reaches into his cloak and pulls out kind of the heel of the bread that he was feeding to the ducks earlier, and starts to tear off little pieces and eat it.
Do you have beds?
Yeah, I've got lots of them.
Wonderful. If you would be so kind.
To what?
Show us where they are.
Oh, they're in there. He points it inside the ship.
So helpful.
I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's 3 rights, then a left, and then a right? No. 4 lefts, 3 rights.
Okay, I am going to go and just take the biggest bed I can find. In the cleanest room I can find. Good night.
But before I head to bed, and I'm gonna produce that sword that I found in a couch cushion. Do you know what this is? Speaking to.
Looks like a
point on his name.
sword.
It's a magic sword.
Oh. I asked. I found it on your ship.
Yeah, I collect a lot of trinkets.
Oh. Do you mind if I borrow it? Use it for a while?
You mean borrow it indefinitely?
No, I give it back. I'm not attached to it.
It's yours as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, well. Mother's blessings. Thank you. I'm gonna sleep on the couch where I found it.
Yeah. Stay fresh, pony boy.
I'm gonna light my magical candle that never goes out, and I'm gonna say some prayers and go to sleep.
You could see Dillian is like setting up a hammock out on the deck of his ship, and he climbs into it, kicks back. As he does, there is this small little black cat that kind of jumps out from the shadows and lands on his chest and curls into a ball. He just sits up there and stares at the stars, so to speak.
Well, I guess it's bit time. Come on, Spins. Let's go try to find a room and not get lost.
The Harvest Golem Spins follows you.
I'll wander into the ship and proceed to get lost.
Sam is, since Sam brought them down to these caves, Sam's going to travel farther into the cave, or if there's a cave adjacent that was smaller, and kind of tuck herself into a familiar space from childhood, surrounded by whatever trinkets the kids left there over the years.
Okay. Night continues to fall, and into the deep dark of the night, you all are able to rest. Sun breaks the next day as the world comes to life again, and the ship, powered by Ignatius Califracius, the fire elemental, comes to life and carries you up into the sky and up into the sky and onto the wind. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Very cool.
It was very good.
This was a nice, just a very nice tonal shift from the heart. Good
Very
stuff.
different.
Cool. There are lots of things I initially. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll wait till it's my turn to talk.
We can freely exchange before we do our outros.
There's a beautiful simplicity in terms of like there just being a D20 roll that like nothing affects it really. I mean, nothing that we've gotten to so far affects it. You know, I like how a lot of the powers there's no roll to use it. It works. It's all kind of narrative first. You know.
Yep.
Something very nice about that.
I do tend to prefer, like, if I'm going to expend a resource to use a thing, it's nice when it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the abilities are just they auto do the thing.
That feels nice. And like I think like Liz said earlier, it's nice seeing some of these different aspects of the city, and I think the coolest thing is to kind of see the ripple effects of what the prism has done and the impacts it's having on the other parts of the nation. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're big shots. People know us.
Wow.
Or other characters.
Our other characters.
Yeah.
Donoff's just happy to be here.
Chanel is quite the opposite.
Janelle's having a time.
Sure is. She's struggling. She's struggling to cope.
That's funny. And there's one invoker ability where you can, I think it only applies to NPCs, never mind. Where you can like basically like calm them and like they only act on like their ideal, not any of their flaws for like a day. I think that's pretty cool. Like you basically like just bring them serenity. So that was pretty neat.
A really positive way to take away their free will.
Oh, presumably you'd ask first.
Positive, yeah. What was that drug that Harry Potter took that made him like good at it, like just lucky at everything?
Felix Felicius.
That one. That one's pretty
I
funny.
mean, different. I see where you're going, but different. Very different.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like how simple Quest is. It's really straightforward, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
There's not, I didn't have to read 489 pages from 7 different books to figure out how to make this system work.
That's true.
So, yeah. Or how to buy things, or how to, create magic items, or put together a character.
I think its simplicity is definitely a strength.
Yeah.
Matthew, do you...
go ahead.
Sorry, Matthew, I interrupted you.
I was just gonna say, my experience with these things is like these kind of systems are best when you have very strong developed storytelling skills. If you don't, I don't know. The system's not really telling you how to get to anything interesting.
Why are we playing it then?
Well, I have strongly developed
Matt
storytelling skills.
does.
I'm a master.
This is why
Hey.
we let you do most of the talking.
I can definitely see that, though, if you're not... Yeah, a big element of the other games is the risk and chance and the dice, and it helps direct the story, and the stunts, and age, so I can see that.
The churn.
Do you think, Matthew, not saying that we're playing this, one thing I could see, though, it kind of felt a little bit like with Heart, like getting a new ability every session. Like, it feels like you would pretty quickly traverse through all the abilities of your class, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they talk about that. They just say like you slow it down.
Gotcha.
I
It's-
mean, because it's really cool. So the naturalist, their legendary ability is they become a seed for a new world. So basically they become a terraform for another planet.
Nice.
So in the world of Ghost in the Machine, a naturalist as a superpower could retransform one of the planets trapped in the void. And the way it reads is it would just wipe out the void and reset the planet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Pretty hot.
Yeah, but you die in the process because you are the energy that creates the terraform and creates the
Or do you live on eternal as the planet?
Well, that too, depending on how creepy you make the planet and Ghost in the Machine, and considering the stars originally were their own gods. So I could see a thing for that, but
Maybe every star was just a naturalist who had their legendary ability.
yeah, and decided to give it up for the life of an ecosystem. But
Yeah.
um
My
Yeah.
head canon.
it's a really cool end ability. So
Nice.
I also feel like
It's
this
very
system. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. I also feel like this system, like a system this simple that still makes it work, is nice because if depending on your bandwidth and energy level, this could be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Talking to
Seems a little
Matthew
less
last night, I'm like,
sweaty.
I tried 2 or 3 different times to sit down and read some more of the book, and I'm like, it's a very good thing that this system is light, because otherwise I was gonna be screwed.
Thank you, Chromatic Chimera, for the raid. We're just winding down and talking about our first night with the Quest RPG system and what we liked and stuff. I do like a lot of the adventure point abilities. Are like, this thing happens, and a lot of them are very impressive. Because I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, there's a gust of wind from the Naturalist that just sounds so fun. Like, you create this massive gust of wind and just blow everyone back.
I almost took the whole elemental track
Yeah.
as a start off. I almost did.
Thank you,
Thank
T-Bone,
you,
for all the gift
T-Bone.
subs.
Thank you, T-Bone. 9 gifts up. Thank you very much.
Excitement.
Oh,
We appreciate your support.
101 gift subs total to the channel.
He spoils
Holy
us.
crap.
Oh, hey, Green Ronin.
Green
How are you?
Ronin.
Chromatic Chimera, as Green Ronin knows, was just doing Fantasy Age, so. What's up, GR? I do that. We do that all the time on our DP account because, if you're not logged in and browsing people's channels, you don't really think about following. It's cool. Appreciate you. Thanks for the follow.
Hey.
Awesome.
But yeah. So I also see, of all the systems that we've played so far, like the magic in this systems makes the most sense to me. Like
Magic.
Strike really didn't feel like it would be able to lend itself to the more complicated magic items that, items and actions that we would see in a high magic, high fantasy setting like Gish, right? Versus, like, this seems like it would be relatively easy to twist it and make it more magic-y.
Yeah. It handles magic very well, I think. It just happens. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. So.
Which is really what you're hoping for when you try to use magic. I mean.
Yeah.
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 Some of them do require rolling, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a few on the naturalist list that required rolling, and then always requires things at the table. So, like, I should have howled earlier, and I did not. But I didn't want to break eardrums.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
wow.
the RP, like the table instructions. There's like a spell called No, where you hold up a finger and you go no. It's a counter spell. I like and like you howl and there's all that stuff. I really like that, the table instructions.
Yeah, there's some bard ones where you read like poems and stuff like that.
Yep. Actually, that's a really beautiful aspect of creating the character too. It just being basically almost a sentence, or Mad Lib that you fill in. I mean, the things that you fill in, obviously, that's what matters. That's the meat of your character. But I don't think I've ever created a character quite like that before in a system. Definitely know what's my constitution, what's my constitution modifier, what's my bonus to attack.
Are they flat-footed?
Right.
What's the touch AC?
It's always just roll a die of fate.
Nice.
What's their Thaco?
Yeah, all that archaic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what we got in store for next week.
Yeah.
System aside, it was nice, like we were talking about earlier, playing something a bit like lighter in atmosphere, and also it's fun being a character that's more or less comedic relief and just there to be slightly antagonistic.
Janelle is adorable. Threw Sam under the bus like nobody's business, but Janelle.
She was just.
It's what a noble would do. It is exactly what a noble would do. There's the servant. It's clearly their fault.
Hey, servant seemed pretty sus.
Yeah, that's right.
Saw her in the electrical room.
That's right. That's right.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
Okay.
I was just filling in time. You were gonna say, do we want to do outros?
Yep.
Sure. I'll start because I was about to go. So, hi everyone. My name is Chase. You can find me on Twitter at Chase34S. You can also find me on all of our socials, where I post dank TTRPG memes every single day. You can find me here on Wednesdays as we do Tales from Gashari, and then eventually, once we finalize on a system, goes to the machine. You can also find me on Saturdays, starting, last week we have season 2 of Cold Suns, our sci-fi kind of mashup story, starting at 6 p.m. Check us out. It was a lot of fun. That's using the Expanse RPG system. I know that Green Ronin just left, but it's by Green Ronin. So that's a lot of fun. I would say most of the people around the table you see here, plus one additional, are joining us every Saturday for that. And if we're talking about favorite moments, I hate to keep on laying back to it, but Matthew, you were saying hey, this is the inspiration for this, the Studio Ghibli and the Flying Tower. I've never seen it, but I'm familiar with that style. And then the overlay, and then just the very serene kind of introduction at first. And I don't know, I just found the whole thing to be very relaxing and refreshing after, a lot of other stuff stresses us out in life. So it was cool just to be here and be a serene character and have fun. That was me. And I'm going to pass it over to Rob.
Rob at Pyromancer804 on Twitter. Like Jay said, I'll be here for Wednesdays for the Tales of Gashari stuff, which is really fun tonight, as well as Saturday on Cold Suns. If you haven't joined us, please hop into our Discord and hang out with us. We have lots. Let's see if I can spell Discord. I can. Hop into our Discord, join us. We do movie nights every so often. We talk about all these different TTRPGs, different systems, different games. It's a great old time out there. Favorite moment for tonight. The whole atmosphere is fantastic, but the whole like setting it all up and then the Countess calling us out like one by one was fantastic. And like all coming together like that was a really good setup there. And I will go ahead and pass it over to Liz.
Hi, I'm a person named Liz. You can find me at No One You Know Backwards, because I was clever once. I am here for As the Wind Calls and Tales of Gashari, and then Saturday, of course, for Cold Suns, where I play a space potato, and I am hopefully a wholesome space potato with a gun and a computer. It's great. And favorite moment for the evening, probably the easy way in which Zonath, Xonoth,
Zonoth, yep.
I want to put an R in that word, and I'm not sure why. But where Zonath just easily stepped in, like he was not called out by the Countess of Avamere, but was able to step in, stop some javelins, and join the party. Because I was wondering how he was going to join us, but that was very smooth. So I thought that was a really cool way to join the group and keep the story moving. And I think that's all I've got. So I think I need to pass it to Alexis.
Hi, I'm Alexis. You can find me at Fox Fanato on Twitters and stuff. And here, where I do things like make this overlay that I had fun making. Let's see. You can find me here Saturday, where I will be playing a Tok'ra, which is like a human, but has a blended consciousness with a symbiotic relationship with an alien. It's fun. And on the topic of favorite moments for this evening, I would have to say that it was the Dread Witch. I love the Dread Witch. But I also really love just the chaotic atmosphere of all the accusations flying around, and just seeing the Countess get more and more like confused and paranoid was very interesting to see. It was very good. Loved all of that. Matthew.
Hi, folks. I'm Matthew Foreman. You can find me here on Twitch TV/Dice Priori. You can find me at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. You can find me on my own channel, Twitch TV/Matt Foreman. I'll be playing Drake, the Mystic Warrior with a Blade of Light, on this Saturday's Cold Suns. I'm really excited, looking forward to that. My favorite moment, let's see. I think it was when everything came together and like everyone realizing how they were going to be implicated one by one, and then like how Liz kind of touched on it. Like it's like, wait, how Zonoth is going to get incorporated in it? And I was like, he's already decided for himself. He's going to wait for his moment. I don't need to do anything. And then he just jumped in. So it was really fun to see. And then like everyone's like, okay, you start convincing her, but then she sees the nobles are doubting her, so she's just going to execute you all anyway. Because she is stone cold. Yeah, that was just great. Good times. Those are the things I love to do, and that was nice to piece together. That's me. I guess we'll go ahead and raid. I think we're gonna raid Critical Misses.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, folks. Be sure to follow Dice Priori. Subscribe if you can. Give subscriptions are great too. Thank you so much for joining in tonight, lurkers, viewers, subs, all of you beautiful, beautiful people. We will catch you for As the Wind Calls next week, and we'll see you in between those cold suns on Saturday.